Hello, hello. Let's see. We got people jumping in here, a lot of people jumping in. So we'll give it just a minute, but today you are in for a very special treat, something that totally blew my mind when my co-host Will Byers showed us this. Well, this was just about a week ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And then we're going to use it internally. And I'm like, you know what? As much as it's cool for us, this would be so amazing to let others know about. And so then I showed it to some of our marketing manager coaching club members. Those are people, mostly marketing managers and producers club. They can join me weekly and we kind of go over things, myself and MC, kind of advanced marketing strategies. And that went really well. And we're like, hey, we should probably just put this out for everybody. So let's give it just a second, let everybody pile in here and then get started. So it should just be about a half an hour today, just so you guys know who are watching. We will be on for Q&A. We've left like plenty of time for Q&A at the end, but we got a lot of good info for you. But we're going to try and go through this as expeditiously as possible. I looked up that word this morning, Will. I chat
I was gonna
GPT'd
say
it.
that's a big word. Yeah.
I know, I know. I think I used it right too. We're going to try and go through it as quickly as possible, but still give you the info because we know you guys are busy. And that's why we're giving this info to you because I think this will make just about uh, your lead generation, kind of appointment conversion, all of that so much quicker and easier. And this is not something that would be easy to do on your own. So we'll give it just another minute and then do an official restart. While we wait, can you guys put in chat, not into Q&A, but in chat, and this whole thing's not just about AI. It's actually, we just use AI to get this data. So we'll tell you how we did that because you can do that too. But just curious, are any of you guys using AI on a regular basis or any program? If you can say, if it's a yes, if you can put in your favorite program or two in there, or app or whatever you want to call it. And if it's no, really don't put in anything in. You could just say, not yet. No, not yet, whatever. What
Wow,
you
getting a
got?
lot of yeses. This is
So,
very cool, guys. Very
okay.
cool.
Okay. Copilot, that makes a lot of sense. Gamma, oh my God. We got, I'm not like able to
They're
read
rolling
them.
in there.
Okay. Chat GPT. Say, no, not yet, unfortunately. Well, you can change that today. Llama 3. Oh my God. Crush Bank Pia. Copilot, Chat GPT. Not yet. Claude. Okay. That's a great one. Holy cow, there were a lot of people. So again, today is not all about AI, but we used it as a tool. And so one of the things I thought was so cool, well, we'll show you in just a minute on that. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but we're going to actually give you the information we extracted using AI that would have taken literally thousands of hours, or I'll say hundreds, maybe not thousands. That might be an exaggeration, but hundreds of hours, easily hundreds of hours of work for a human or humans to do. And instead, it only took Will dozens of hours with AI. Now, Will's really good at it, but even there, it was a process just to do what we did, which is why it was so amazing. So let's see what else. Anything new you're seeing? Gemini, okay. Yeah, Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot seem to be real popular ones. Hugging Bear. I don't know what that is, but now I'm super interested in that. Open router. Okay, they keep pouring in. So, Will, it looks like we've slowed down on people coming in. So, what do you say we get started here?
Let's do
You
it.
good with that? Okay,
Hmm.
I'm gonna I'm gonna go ahead and share screen and let's do this thing. So hello and welcome. I'm Mike Stadola with the Technology Marketing Toolkit. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here, and I am joined by my co-host and the real expert behind today's information, Will Byers. Will, what's your official title? Now, you
Uh,
oversee so much and do a lot, but what's your title?
Director of Digital Strategy. So yeah, I look oversee the strategy for our digital agency, help out with a lot of the TMT materials from a digital standpoint.
Okay. Will's just awesome. I've known Will, geez, for way too long. We worked together with Dan Kennedy's company years ago and then recruited him once I got here. It took a while, but we got him over here and he's, how long have you been with TMT now, Will?
Going on 5 years.
Okay, yeah.
So
So I guess
yeah.
it didn't take that long. Well, the screen I have up and that it's showing right now, We were astounded. We have over 1,400 people. That's at 1.4K on the right. This is a snapshot from Keep for those of you who use the map program with TMT. If you don't, that's totally fine. But just showing over 1,400 people registered for today. So I guess some people are interested in what you found. Well, I thought people might be interested. I thought maybe 300 or 400 people. We got 1,400 on here. So once again, if just joining us, we are going to talk about AI for MSPs, but it's really not AI. It's using that as a tool to extract the data. And really today is going to be about the shocking thing we found after listening to 103 real inbound leads talk to MSPs. And I said 103. I don't know, Will, you've probably listened to way more than that, but I just needed to put some number in there. And I'm not sure if you could even tell us because you've been listening to these calls for what, 2 or 3 years?
I think we're way past that now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But we analyzed calls, and that's what we're going to show you today using AI with that. Once again, I'm Mike Stadol, and we got our co-host and today's expert, Will Byers, on here. So let's get started. I didn't even show my cool animation. So these graphics you're seeing today, these, I'm really not doing this well, Will. I got to click on there. There we go. This was made, I didn't even preview it beforehand. I forgot to play it, but that was made with a simple AI tool. And it was actually free to do. It took about 30 seconds. I said, hey, put in like an AI looking chatbot and then made it move there. It didn't move for very long. We can do it again. Just a little cooler than some clip art or whatever I was usually going to come up with. On there, all the graphics today are courtesy of the different kind of AI programs that we have here. But what are you going to get today? So first of all, what we're going to show you is what we did and about the hundreds of calls that were analyzed and what we extracted from it. And we'll go into that in further detail. Then we're going to talk about what we found and specifically the 30 most common questions asked by potential clients. This really blew our mind. It wasn't, I say it blew our mind. In retrospect, it wasn't that surprising. It was surprising what we could do with this information, though, really. Number 3 is the 7 ways you can and should use this info in your business right now. And then we're going to end with a couple next steps that you could take. As I said before, we will take, it'll be maybe just about a half an hour where we're going to show you what we did, the findings, all of that. And then we're going to answer questions. We got plenty of time blocked off for questions with that. So if you have a question during this, do not put it into chat. It will get lost. You got to put it into that Q&A box. But into chat, if you didn't already, just let us know if you're using AI right now. And if so, what your favorite program is, or a couple programs are in there. So you can throw that into chat, but questions as they come up, throw them into the Q&A box because that's how we'll keep track. Otherwise, they will get lost in the chat window. So, Will, should we get started?
Yep, let's get started. And Bill asked, will slides be available? And that's what Mike's getting to right now.
Yeah, so exactly. So what you'll get, so tomorrow at 3:15 Central, we've got this, we got to render video and we got to put stuff in there and get it up on a page and all that. You will have access to the replay as we promised you. We'll give you slides, but the slides honestly aren't going to do as much good as what you're going to get are these. This is the step-by-step process, the analysis, the detailed findings, along with the top 30 specific questions and concerns about what's the problem you're calling about. So everything you go see today, you will get tomorrow, 3:15 Central Time tomorrow, just because we also want to make the replay available and we got to render it, put it up on a page, do all of that in there. So yeah, you can take notes, you can take screenshots, whatever today, but you will get all of this info. I would not focus on the specifics today, but just kind of open your mind as to how you can use this info and what your next steps are on this. So
hey Mike, real quick,
yeah.
I've seen Wes ask this a couple times. He's curious as to what real means. So I think he's seen it on our shirt. So Robin always says we want to take you from a tech business, which is tedious, exhausting, chaotic, and hard, to a real business, which is rewarding, easy, attractive, and lucrative. So a little acronyms there for you. That's what it stands for, Wes.
Yeah, absolutely. So with this, Will, I'm actually gonna stop sharing on my screen because I know you're going to take us through what we did. So again, we're going to start with what we did. And this was really Will's brainchild here and spent a bunch of time. And then we'll get you the results of what we did. As always, we've got some combination of pre-prepared things. I think you've actually pre-prepared it because with AI and doing live demos, that can go horribly wrong sometimes, as I proved about a month ago on a deep dive call. We were trying to do a thing live, and that didn't happen very well. So people did follow along, though. It was great. So what do we got here, Will?
All
So
right,
what
cool, Mike.
what did we do? What
So
kind of started this?
So the problem not really problem at hand, but the project at hand was kind of brought up by Robin herself, and she was kind of wondering, what are the common problems that prospects are asking for, not clients, but prospects that call in either organically from online, Google My Business, paid ads, et cetera, et cetera. And as part of the digital agency, we listen to tons and tons of calls. But how do you really aggregate all that data? And she was looking for somebody to do that. I'm like, I was watching some, as Mike said, I'm really, really big into AI. I study it every day. I use it every day for different tasks. And they had just released ChatGPT 4.0 model. I saw a lot of different things that they had improved with data analysis, providing interactive graphs and charts. And then so I'm like, hey, I think I could do this, because she's like, who can listen to all these calls, get them all transcribed, type it out, all this type of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I think I can do this with a little prompt exploration and some AI. So this is kind of the process that I came up with. It looks super easy now as we're going through it, but whenever you look at AI, the key is prompting. So whatever prompts you feed it's going to give you back basically the quality of the prompt that you feed it. So when you're looking at this iteration of the prompt that ultimately we use to do this with, this is probably the 30 or 40th iteration of prompting. And one little trick I had told our marketing managers, or a little insight, how did I come up with the prompt and keep refining it? I used AI to help me create the prompt. So I started with what I thought my ideal prompt would be. It wasn't really giving me what I looked for. I said, okay, this is my goal. This is what I'm looking for. What prompts would you use? So I went through that probably 30 or 40 times before it gave me really good data and what I was actually looking for. So it is it looks like a very simple process, but it does take a lot of time to really refine the prompts to come up with. And this is what we'll share with you guys too as well to help you do it. So let's just take a look at the step-by-step process we took. Now that we have the problem, we know the problem we want to solve. This is what we came up with to do this. So, and then we'll hop into GPT and I'll show you actually some examples of, like Mike said, I ran it before this just so I knew that the data would pop up, because as yesterday morning, GPT was saying they're too busy for a little bit. So we didn't want that to happen in the middle of the webinar here. But okay, so looking up what was our goal? So we wanted to find out what prospects were calling for, prospects from online, etc. So what we want to do is
and just to clarify, so these were not prospects for Technology Marketing Toolkit. So Will works in our Digital Done For You division here at Technology Marketing Toolkit. And so one of the things we do with all of those clients is we use a service, and correct me anywhere I mess up here, Will, called CallRail. And CallRail, what it does is it records inbound calls and inbound leads, so both online and offline leads, and tells you where it's coming from. So whether it's coming from Google or Facebook or LinkedIn or Google Business Profile or Bing or however it does. And then the calls, it actually records those inbound calls and it gives certain numbers out. So what Will did was took those transcripts from actually market qualified leads. So these were real people looking for real information here. They weren't solicitors or spam or clients. So it was real prospects calling MSPs asking about their services. And one of the cool things about this that would be very hard to do on your own or take a lot longer is because do you even know, Will, how many clients have CallRail that you're pulling from here? It's hundreds, I know.
We have over like 225, I believe, that are within our,
Okay, so he's pulling data from 200 plus MSPs with that. It would take so long to get this kind of information on your own because, I mean, it'd be lovely if you got 200 leads coming into you consistently, but when we go across 200 MSPs, you can take a week or two worth of lead data and crank this in there. So those are the
Right.
transcripts that he pulled.
Yep, and there's multiple different ways that you guys can use this for, and that's something Mike will go over in a little bit too, which is why I wanted to share the actual process so you guys could not only get the data that we've compiled from this, but also have the process to be able to do this yourself in various different manners. So, like Mike said, we get those quality transcripts. You do want to make sure that it's actually we wanted to make sure it was actually a qualified person. So we made sure that they were all that clean transcripts. So like I said, Mike said, we exported it out of their call recording service, which we use CallRail. Any recording service you have will surely provide you the transcript these days on those. So just take all those transcripts, save them into an individual document. I have tested this with putting all the transcripts into one document. Did not give me as good a results or even close to as good as results as using individual transcripts. So like I said here, ensure each call is saved into an individual transcript. So then what we want to do is we want to hop into GPT, make sure we're using the 4.0 model, and I'll show you where to check if you're using that 4.0 model when we're inside there. This is a free model. So even if you aren't a pro user like you needed to be for GPT-4, GPT 4.0 is free to everybody. So you don't have to necessarily have a pro account to be able to do this process. So that is a very nice thing about the 4.0 model, is you do not have to pay for it. So step 3 is we want to upload the transcript. So the maximum currently that we can upload of documents is 10. So we take our first 10 transcripts and we upload those, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second here. Now this is the all important key. So what was our objective? What were the questions, and what format do we want? This is kind of the prompt we came up with. So we want to enter this prompt, and what is our objective? Analyze incoming customer call transcripts to managed service providers to identify trends and what the problem is they are calling for help with. So laying it out in this format has given us the best results. So what are those questions that we want GPT to go find for us? What's the problem they're calling about? And how do they specifically describe what they're looking for? Now, in various different iterations, this part you could edit. I would keep the other stuff the same, or make sure that it's kind of in the same format. Obviously, you can come up with different questions that you want to, and I'll show some examples of that as we move along as well. What's the problem they're calling about? And how do they specifically describe what they're looking for? And then the format, we want to tell it what format we want them to provide us in. So for this one, I wanted them to be in summary tables so we could see the amount of calls. It would give us different examples, which I'll get share in a second. One table should be a problem category and one table should be for a problem category and frequency. The other should be for common phrases used by the customer. And then I also wanted a list of common or similar phrases the customer uses when describing their problem. Step 4, we want to make sure that the output that GPT gives us meets our expectations. And then if the output's good, then we can proceed to the next step, which is continuing adding 10 more transcripts until all of them have been done. And then we provide you here with a list of additional analysis questions that we can pull from as well. And you'll get this document to go through exactly what you want. And I'll show you some examples here right now as I hop into GPT. Let's see, let me stop this share. Get over to browser. All right,
so
cool.
Like you said, yeah, Will ran this earlier just to make sure that it was working in case something went down for us live. But
Yep.
this is just in the free version here. So okay, cool.
Yep. Okay, so now we're in GPT. It's now chatgpt.com. It used to have to type in a little funky thing up at top, but now it's just chatgpt.com. And this is what I was talking about. You want to make sure you're in this 4.0 model. So if you do the drop down here, you can see you got the 4.0. I do have the pro account, so I have access to GPT-4, which I don't really use much anymore. There are a few things you can use it for. And then you have the GPT 3.5, which does not even support file attachments. So you can't even do this process within GPT 3.5. So make sure we're here. We're on the GPT 4.0, it's the newest and most advanced model. It will say there, and make sure that it was checked, and you can confirm that right here. So first thing we do, obviously, is, like I said, we take those transcripts right here. How you upload those is you have this little attachment button here. You click, you can upload from your computer. Just recently, they've allowed you to connect to your OneDrive or your Google Drive if you want to automatically upload from those. You can do that too. I typically just upload from the computer here. So once we do that, we'll upload those and then we paste in our prompts. Prompt here. One thing I did add to this one, just to show you what you can do for a little additional thing, is add in some marketing headlines just to get ideas. I typically don't like to use the marketing stuff directly out of GPT, but it gives you some ideas to spur for headlines, different things like that. But so I just wanted to add that in there to show you just a little bit of an example of what you can do with that. So as you can see, I had the objective, the format the same. I wanted the summary tables here. And this is what it gave us. So it gave me my summary table. So like I said, I wanted the problem category, the frequency. So then it automatically came up with these problem categories itself. I didn't have to say, give me cybersecurity, give me IT support, give me pricing and packages. It goes in, analyzes the transcripts and defines which categories are the biggest talked about and kind of labels them under what is appropriate. And you can see here, this is how many times in those first 10 transcripts, each one of these is asked. Moving on to the common phrases used, same thing. This is our summary table here that provides this, the phrases plus the frequency. So I'm looking for IT support. I was asked 5 times in those. Do you provide on-site visits, et cetera, down the list. So these were the most common ones that were asked at least twice in these 10 calls. So it did provide me exactly what I wanted. Going down here to the detailed findings, what I asked for there, what's the problem they're calling for. So on this one, general service inquiries, customers often call to learn more about the company's service. One cool thing I like about this too is it gives you the actual transcripts it's pulling these from. So you can go review if you want to look a little deeper into what the specific thing was, or just confirm that the information is accurate, which I did, and it was. So you can actually use these to go back and look at different things here in the actual transcripts that'll tell you which ones it pulled from. And then again, how do they specifically describe what they're looking for? Again, it gives you actual quotes on this section because we asked for it to be specific. Excuse me. And then down here, this is what I had mentioned to you, just asking for recommendations for website copy. Here it can give you a few headlines. You'll always want to take a look at these and tweak and just kind of give you some ideas on things you can use based on those questions or whatever data you're analyzing that you want to create marketing out of. So again, I was satisfied with this output. This finally gave me exactly what I want using this data. So then I can move on, add 10 more transcripts. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Hey, well, did you ask it? I missed that in the prompt. Did you ask it for the headlines?
I did, yeah. That's why
Okay.
on this one, I just wanted to show like an update that I had done recently, just saying, give me some recommended website copy or lead generation headlines.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Just to get some ideas. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think you'd done that before. I like it how it's funny. Like I look at the reports we've had for years and what Robin's recommended being on the headline on websites for probably a decade plus now. And so many of these are very similar to that. So Chat GPT agrees with Robin, it looks like in this case, but it's so cool to see just the different options on there. So, okay, very cool. Sorry, go ahead. Hey, one question about the transcript. We had Todd Clark, he's one of our producer club members, longtime member, Better Your Best finalist this year. He asked, were those already put into like a script, or is this the audio transcript?
Text transcript, yeah. They could be, you can save them, either copy and paste the transcript into a Word document, a PDF. If your call recording software just gives you the direct access to export, just export it as the text document. It'll accept docs.txt, PDF, any standard document it'll accept and read.
Okay, perfect. And I think we had a couple people join late yet. This is being recorded, and tomorrow you will get an email at 3:15 Central Time with access to the full recording, the documents we're going over, everything. So, yep. Okay, sorry, Will. Let's keep going here.
So like I said, you want to make sure you're satisfied with the output. This was after 30 or 40 tries here with the different things. So this is finally gave me exactly what I was looking for. So then I can move on and continue with this with my additional transcripts. So like I said, again, you can do 10 at a time. So I just had a very simple prompt here, 10 more to include in the overall analysis. It keeps all my charts the same. It just updates the numbers here. Where did they ask the questions? Were they looking for the similar phrases here? It just updates these numbers, and Mike will and the marketing team created a great document sharing all this data with you guys that Mike showed earlier. And we kind of broke it down into percentages even, so you could even see like the most common by percentage that is used that we found throughout all these calls that we've been adding to this constantly. Again, you keep going down the process. I think I did one more here just to show you the numbers changing again here. It'll update here, tell you the different, keep adding the transcripts. It's finding these common things in. And so you keep going until you're done here. When I added 5 more at the end. I just said, here are the final transcripts to include an overall analysis. And once I got done, I was wanting to mess with this. I just wanted to show you guys different things that you can do, because obviously if you can improve on this, awesome. But I wanted to show everything. This one actually asked me if I would like to proceed with generating line charts. So I'm like, oh yeah, let's see what it will do with line charts. So that will automatically create these charts for you. But you can tell it to set up different keywords, anything like that. I provided some of those prompts in the document too that you can use to play around with a little bit and get exactly what you're looking for. But this is pretty cool. And then even if they're slowly rolling this out, but they're creating interactive charts now. So you can interact, you can tell it to create a pie chart with everything, and then you can hover over it inside of here, and interact with your data and update it in real time. So it's pretty cool. Moving on down, one other thing that you want to do if you want like to expand the data out, you can ask it to just kind of keep expanding on the questions, which is what we wanted to do, because we wanted to see as many of the questions as possible. It's great to have that overall data, but what other keywords, how are customers phrasing things for our MSPs, different things like that. So you continue to prompt it. Can you provide additional common questions and concerns for this section? Obviously here you can see it gave me 3 more for each one. Then finally at the very bottom, I just said, okay, now give me all of them. So I wanted it in various different formats that I could go through and decipher myself, or go back and tell AI what to do. One little trick to do that without having to specifically reference the section. This is only in GPT 4.0 that I've found. You can't do it in Claude or anything like that. So I really wanted to do the question, comments, and concerns section separately than the other section. So what you can do is go up here. What's the problem they're calling about? Highlight it. Use this quotation mark. Click that, and it will drop this down here. And then you say, you can ask, give me more questions for this section. So then you can actually tell it which section to refer to by just highlighting and clicking those quotation marks. Instead of trying to like a detailed prompt of what section it wants to, you can actually refer to specific areas.
Oh, that's cool.
Moving on down here. Actually, this isn't a different one I wanted to show you. Another valuable thing that we found, I started playing with different things, is the industries. So I'm like, okay, they're obviously telling the MSPs what industries they're in, given their business names. I'm like, okay, can you give me a list of industries that all these calls were coming in? So again, I did that with this one really quick. This obviously wasn't all the calls that we've done, but I just want to show you a quick example right here. So obviously it gives me a list: construction, Eliza Jones Construction, Freeway Suzu. So those are the 2 construction companies that were called. So this would be more on a specific basis if you wanted to go back and see the different industries that were coming from your calls specifically, or anything like that. One thing to be careful about is you'll see here, BizTech was included in here. We know under IT services, these were all of our all of the MSPs. So it might put you in different categories, things like that. So always just double check anything and everything that AI gives you, just to have a second set of eyes. But that's pretty cool with that you can do with the different industries as well. And then you can also do like different things, like what specific services were they asking for. So like security cameras, Wi-Fi, network went down, business continuity, all coming from specific transcripts. So you can go into each specific transcript as deep and detailed as you want to get. But overall, that's the process, Mike. And yeah, it's fairly straightforward once you get the prompting down. But we just wanted to go through and show you exactly how we did this, so you could use it for yourself and give you the prompt So you don't have to go out and do all that work for yourself. But um, that's that, Mike, on
Yeah,
that
well,
part.
Will, that's awesome. We'll get through the rest and then get to Q&A. But yeah, the fact that Will was willing to spend or go through 30 to 40 iterations to get this. I was trying to put some Excel data into one the other day. I got frustrated after about 3 minutes, but it's funny, Will, like, and this is the scary thing and cool thing about AI. I was getting frustrated. It wasn't giving me what I was looking for. Probably totally my fault. But so I started retyping it again and I was saying, hey, I want 3 columns. And I did one, and then I wrote the thing, and then I just hit enter and it submitted. So I didn't write column 2 or 3, but it knew from the previous part of the conversation where I'm like, this isn't right. It was the time when I screwed up that it gave me the 3 columns that I was looking for and everything. I'm like, it learned from the conversation what I wanted. And it was just awesome. It would have taken me hours in Excel. I'm pretty decent with Excel, except these were like thousands of rows and looking for very specific things that are combined and tracked and everything and engagement rates across different lead sources. And it just gave it to me like, but it took me all 3 or 4 minutes. I was getting frustrated then. I can't believe you did 30, 40 iterations of this. This is why we've got Will.
It's just like we teach in marketing. It's the same principles: testing, 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 until you get the results that you want.
I think there's a lesson in
And then
there for me
duplicate it.
somewhere.
Yeah.
So, okay. Fair enough. Okay, again, we'll get you these documents. So let's talk about quickly before we get to Q&A and next step, 7 ways you can use these questions. First of all, hopefully obvious, make sure you have your team prepared to answer these questions. If these are the most common questions that you're getting, are you confident that anyone who's on the phone knows how to answer these questions? And so this is just one, and will they all answer the same or will they all answer them differently? What's that look like for you? FAQs on your website. This will help with SEO, obviously. If people are typing these questions in, it's not like they just call first. You know, people go to Google. Nowadays, they go to ChatGPT, go to whatever, and they're asking these questions. They're asking Siri. They're asking all sorts of things. Have these as FAQs. Look at their language, though. Like one of them that I saw was about Wi-Fi. And it's like, why isn't my Wi-Fi working? Or why isn't my connection strong? Here, use their language, not our language that we would use or the language that you guys would use talking internally or to your techs or whatever the real names are. See how your prospects are using that language. These could be perfect, I'll just call them blog posts. Like if you write about, hey, don't have strong Wi-Fi, want to know the 5 common reasons your Wi-Fi is not as fast as it should be or is disconnecting or whatever. That could be something much more interesting to people than yet again about cybersecurity. And I'm not saying don't do cybersecurity or don't do BDR, don't do those. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, in addition to that, this is what people are looking for. Get them to your website, provide the answers, and then be the expert to them and help them out with everything they need, not just their question. Again, emails, similar to blog posts, will they actually read about the 5 things they can do to increase their Wi-Fi speed? I did like it, Will, when you asked for specific questions. I remember the first time you showed it, one of the questions was, obviously it was a girlfriend. She said, hey, what did it say? Oh, I think my boyfriend's computer has a virus. How can I get in or something to check or something like that? I'm like, okay, I'm sure. And oh, by the way, how do we get into browser history there? And how do we get into his email? So that was a funny one. But emails, videos, you guys can make videos of all these. Have someone interview you, have a camera on you, answer these questions, post them to YouTube. Social posts, again, these would make great things to put on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. The answers to these questions, have a little thing that says the question and then click and expand in the, like the, I don't know, comment section, the description below to see, or you can put the video onto social posts with all of that. And then number 7 are chat bots. Imagine people have these questions. I'm guessing it doesn't always come up between 8:30 and 5 or 9 and 5 or 5:30 or whatever. Or I'm sure even the best of you have had times where your phones weren't always answered with someone who could answer the questions. There are AI chatbots now where it can actually look like Will Byers, you, whoever you want, where you can preload this information into a chatbot on your website. You can ask for their information so that you can follow up with them. You could collect them as a lead and you could answer their questions. If you had the 30 most common questions for you, your market, your industry, your niche, your geography, all loaded in there. That's probably the vast majority of what people are asking about. And I'm not saying do this instead of doing live. Live is going to be better. But if you're not monitoring your phones around the clock, if you're not answering questions around the clock, if it's going into auto attendant hell a lot of times and they get to the right person finally, that goes to voicemail, which we see happen so often. Wouldn't it be nice if they could just go to your website and get some of these questions answered while you collect their information? You can ask them questions first and then get this, ask them their problem, ask them about their company or whatever, and then provide the answers all via chat, because you can program those in there. I'm sure there's other ways and we'll get into that, but I'm going to go to next steps because we've got the upcoming MSP Marketing Roadshow. We got 3 dates here, one in Dallas, one in Newark, and one in Las Vegas. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because chatbots, all of this are going to be some of the things we talk about at the roadshow. These are smaller events, a couple hundred people at each one. They're maxed out at that. We've got, you can go to the page now, mspmarketingroadshow.com. I don't know if you can throw that in the chat, Will, actually, but the first day, Robin and team are all going to be talking about how to get high value clients, how to make that big shift instead of kind of low value clients or the people that you might be getting, how to really shift into gear to get bigger, better, more profitable clients and the things you can do. But then day 2 of this is all about how to use AI in your business. This is going to encompass marketing, sales, operations, data analysis, all of that, including things like the chat bots. We're also going to show you how you can make these into emails, videos, blog posts, social posts, how to use it for SEO, do all of that. Something that would have taken, like the analysis that Will did, would have taken hours and hours to do before AI. Creating blog posts about all 30 of these would take so long that you'd probably never get it done. However, with some of the tools we're going to show you, with the prompts we're going to show you, you can talk to your exact target audience and kick out blog posts in a matter of minutes, have it up there, have it living forever, search engine optimized, so that you are getting leads from your ideal clients, and build all these little tiny marketing assets that work 24/7 for you. So we have not even like announced Roadshow yet. So this is like this is the unofficial announcement. We have a page up. It doesn't have a ton of information on there, but this is free for if you're a Technology Marketing Toolkit member. So you've got the Toolkit, MSP Launch, Accelerators, or Producers Club. You can go in there, you get 2 tickets with your membership. There is a $100 fully refundable deposit, just so you show up. So when you get there, you get your $100 back in the form of gift card. I believe that's how they do it, or refund your account. But it's a deposit for those of you who are not Technology Marketing Toolkit members. Well, you could become a member. Highly recommend that. Or you can also buy tickets to the event. I believe they're $297 for the first person, and then $97 for additional people to come. 2 days, we feed you, you have happy hours, all that good stuff. Definitely something to check out if you're interested in either of the topics of making the shift to get high value clients, or want to know how to use AI in your business. That's all day 2 is what we're going to talk about with that. Then finally, before we get to question, be on the lookout in the next few weeks here. We are going to launch a podcast like what Will just showed today is kind of the kind of stuff he's doing all the time. And marketing, we are using AI all the time. We've shared a lot of these with our marketing managers coaching club. We said, hey, why don't we start a podcast, just AI for MSPs, and start showing this. So you'll see an invitation to that. It'll be a weekly podcast that puts out there. It's going to be, I call it a podcast, Will, but it's mostly going to be like on YouTube. We will have the audio, but it's hard to do a lot of this without seeing. So that's not our official logo. I plugged this into what we'll talk about on one of our very first podcasts, into a program where I gave a 1-sentence prompt and it spit this out 30 seconds later. I thought it was kind of cool. Will, you wear hats a lot, so I'm going to just say this is you. Plus, for those of you who don't know Will, he's a big guy. He's tall. What, 6'5", Will? 6'4", something like that.
6'3", yeah, 6'3".
6'3",
6'4" with shoes.
Okay, yeah, or 6'8" in heels. That's Dave Randall's joke. Yeah, it's like Will So Tall, who was born on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. So, anyways, we'll show you how to do all sorts of cool little things for that. And with that, let's get into questions. Will, I don't know if you've been
Yeah, a couple here that
monitoring
come
those.
through. Wes asked, do you own the data you receive with 4.0? Just like any other data that you create, you have your personal spin on it and copyright. Nothing is technically there that AI doesn't show you the data. If you post it out there, obviously it's free. People can plagiarize it or whatever, just like any other content out there. One little thing with what we use is the Teams version. So what that does is it doesn't share our data that we feed it with the overall AI language model. So it doesn't use our data to train on. It's kept private, all that type of good stuff. So we don't want to kind of go against that stuff where we sharing data out there that is the AI is using to learn off of. We just want to keep all that stuff for ourselves. So hope that answers your question there. Ronald asked, can we use the TurboDial recordings? Yeah, any recordings, any type of transcript you can create, you can use. There's no limitations on it. Anywhere that you're getting calls, either export them, copy and paste it into a document, anything like that. Any type of recording you have, go ahead and use that. The more data, the better.
Hey, Will, real quick, let me just share this because there's some confusion. I shouldn't have even mentioned Roadshow, but that's fine. Okay, so Roadshow, if you go to register now, it just probably kicks you down. Pick a city. If you are not a member, if you're not a toolkit, MSP launch, accelerators, or producers club member, click on these. $2.99. Someone said that it's $2.99, not $2.97. If you come, find me. I'll give you the $2 difference. There, that upsell here. So $2.99, not 97 there, but click on the city and does that. If you're a member though, go down, it like says it, but it's hard to find. We have to do these things. So if you're a member, go into active member ticket registration. And then if you're a member, you'll have a login and password and it'll take you into the dashboard. So then you register through that. We are currently still working on the system. We're actually streamlining it for members. It'll work. It'll all end up the same. But if you're a member, make sure you scroll down to that member part, active member ticket registration. If you already got excited and you're a member and you paid the $2.99, you're like, screw it, we'll just figure this out later. We'll contact you and get you your money back. You know, we always do that. So if you're a member, you'll get taken care of. I will warn everybody, Las Vegas fills up first. So if you are planning on going to Vegas, you better register like yesterday. Like that'll fill up, even though it's the last one, it'll fill up before the others. But we got great hotels in Dallas and Newark as well. So 3 different markets, depending on where you're located, east, central, or west out there. But do go ahead. These do fill up because they're only a couple hundred people. We're obviously not making money on this with the $99 or $2.99 from that. This is to come to. It's a member one, and obviously we hope that you guys who pay the $2.99 do become members with us. That's why we do it. So I don't know if there's any more questions with that, but I didn't explain that very well apparently the first time. So thanks for asking those questions. What else do we have in chat, Will?
Demetrius was just wondering when the information will be available. That'll be, again, they'll go out an email for everybody that registered at 3:15, around 3:15 tomorrow. You'll get the recording and all the documents that Mike and I shared with you today will be included in that.
Yeah, and you don't have to like register or anything. You'll just get the email. It'll all be right there. We just need to get everything rendered and get it up on the site so that we can send it over to you. Okay, what's we got Wes saying.
Yeah, he asked what AI program to use with team. Maybe I didn't explain that. So GPT has a team version where you can have multiple people under one account. It's like $10 a month more per user. You do get a little bit more access to data usage. So in times of where GPT is slow or they said it's at capacity a couple times yesterday, the teams groups get more priority. So you can share chats, you can share different GPTs, you can train it on different things a little bit more. for your internal use. That's what I meant by Teams, not connecting it with Microsoft Teams. If that came off that way, I apologize. And then if you use the pay, all data is private until you share it on the web. No one can access your chats or anything until you post it all out there. So yeah, it's all private until you share it.
Okay, guys, any other questions that we have? If you guys like this and want more, go ahead, throw in the chat that you're gonna listen or subscribe to the podcast. Again, it's free. It's not like you really got to subscribe much. It's like on YouTube or whatever, or Spotify or whatever you use for your podcast. Check those out. We want to bring this information to you because, again, the whole point is so you can get more done, less people. It's cliche, but work smarter, not harder. This absolutely lets you do that. It's amazing what we can crank out now with the team compared to what things took before. But we're going to be showing you videos, all this content. We're actually also at Roadshow. We will have one of the hottest things. I don't know how much I should be telling here. Will, I think I'm corrupting the official announcement, but also at our roadshow when you come, we are actually going to show you and give you the resources so that you can do a webinar for other companies, for your clients and your prospects, your unconverted leads. Since AI is one of the hottest topics out there, we have found that our members who are teaching and using AI to just show that they're the expert in the market and really solidify your authority, your trust in that marketplace. It's people are getting like 50 to 100 registrants and people on these webinars versus like 7 on cybersecurity or 12 on dark web scans and all. So we're going to show you how to use that to get leads, get people in marketing, what we call top of funnel type of people, and really solidify your place in the marketing as the go-to expert in technology and productivity for other businesses. And then how, of course, to transition those into appointments and leads. So go to mspmarketingroadshow.com. Get your tickets there. It's going to be a great event with us. So I don't know if there is anything else. I haven't seen it. Yep.
One quick thing here. Sorry if I butcher your name here, Gian or Jan. Is there a section on TMT site where all these videos go? We post videos all over the place. Typically, you can find them on the dashboard, but MSP Success, we have our own YouTube channel. TMT, we have our own YouTube channel. And you can find all those links on the website. And I'm sure that we'll share those in the email as well. For this specific one, in the email that you get with all the information, that'll point you in the right direction where this one will live.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we are doing this in a podcast that'll be called AI for MSPs. Well, that's someone else. We haven't I don't know if do you register titles for podcasts? Well, I don't even know how podcasts work. That's why we got other people for that stuff. We did look at the URL at least. So I'm like, let's buy this URL. So that's the one thing I know. But we will have this in a podcast. It will be on MSP Success with that. So that'll be that YouTube channel. We've got a lot of information, so we'll get you that info. So thank you for asking. Okay, well, anything else come in? Nope.
I think we're good to go.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for being on. Hope this was great. Please stick around as a subscriber to MSPSuccess.com. We will be bringing more and more of these types of webinars to you guys, and then of course be launching the podcast. We got a couple other kind of tricks up our sleeve for y'all. So talk to you soon. Have a great one. Thanks so much. Will, this was incredible information.
Thanks everybody. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Bye now.